get my saw. I ain't got nowhere to put on Brutus. I tore up my saw haul.
All right, howdy peeps and peoples. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. What I'm doing today is I end up on this steep, aggravating hillside with this big timber on it, and it's time for me to kick the mothballs, pull Brutus out of mothballs, kick the dust off of it, and I have a heck of a time. I pull fiber like crazy on a few of them. The saw's binding up because it's been treated like crap lately, so I'm battling through this, and I'm just out of shape. Things are not going right, and I keep relying on Roger to bring me parts and stuff and gas and everything because nothing's right on Brutus to carry my equipment. We did make it done without tearing up any parts. Come back to the mill and go through a little bit of unloading these log trucks and giving a few ideas on what I think about unloading logs. A few habits I have to share along with everybody. So I hope everybody likes it, and I hope everybody enjoys the video. Let's get into it. I got a great big whopper right there. It's right at the edge of a point, and I can't get down there at Brutus, so I'm gonna have to hand cut him. It's been a while since I've hand cut, so we'll see if I can remember it if it's like riding a bicycle. Oh boy, what a mammoth monkey. Look right here. Look right here. Look right here. Right there. That's the size of the driver. And I'm in front of him. I'm 12 foot tall. I mean, that's a heck of a tree right there. About a 65-inch waistline. Anybody remember how to use this thing?
said boom shakalaka. Gotta wait on Roger, come back and get my saw. I ain't got nowhere to put on Brutus. I tore up my saw haul. Whack-a-doodle. Gave him a big old whack-a-doodle. I like that thing. I like that daggone saw haul. Hate that I whacked it up. I don't think there's any way I can get that blade in there. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. If I could take a grinding wheel or cutting wheel and cut that right there and right there, might be able to slide this. Of course, I broke the tip off the saw haul and everything and went whack. Pieces flew off of it. It was shrapnel was going everywhere. Roger, where are you at?
All right, let's get into this. This is bad. It's worse than I thought it would be. Although I knew it would be bad because I basically, ever since we bought Brutus, my whole focus had been on getting Brutus right. So in doing so, all my focus has been on changing hydraulic hoses and getting Brutus lined out and eating sandwiches, obviously. I'm a tubby bubby. I'm sorry about the shirtless stuff. Everybody that's watched Logger Wade very long knows I can't stand a sticky hot shirt when it's 460 degrees outside. And now that I'm fat, y'all just gonna have to suffer through that or change vidget. Now, the time I'm editing this, oh yeah? Jason works like, no, David Haley's hollering at me. This is, when I'm editing this is when David Haley came out with that How to Date a Logger vidget, which is really good. But anyways, where was that? Okay. Tubby Bubby, eat sandwiches, and not very good at cutting right now. I'm rusty as all get out. I turn around, misjudge this ash tree I'm cutting. You know, you fall out of practice. Now, there's things that I never forget, like riding a bicycle and all that stuff, but then there's things you get that you got to be sharp on, lickety-split, got to cut all the time, so that way you stay sharp on, that I've got rusty at. And things I wouldn't think I'd get rusty on, I'm rusty at. Like judging a bent crooked tree. A bent crooked tree, sometimes the trunk runs out one way and the top comes back the other way. When you're on your game, it's not hard to pick them out. But this one here, I could tell right away that I misjudged it because it's trying to sit back on me. So I thought, well, I'm going to redirect this thing. No, it wasn't sitting back on me. I jumped the gun. I thought, well, I'll redirect this thing. Whoop-de-frickin-do. I wanted up on top of the hill anyway. Well, turns out that I misjudged it the second time. I was right the first time. It's like I'm making rookie mistakes. I'm making the mistakes you first make when you start hand cutting. And if I was a self-respecting timber cutter, I would edit them out. Hang on. If I was a self-respecting timber cutter, I'd edit them out, but I'm not. If it makes good vidget, y'all's getting it. So, now, in the time I'm editing this is about 3 weeks after I shot this vidget. And in them 3 weeks, I have done a lot of chainsaw cutting. And I've got myself back up into shape. I did a vidget today that I thought, you know what, I'm almost back. Logger Wade's almost back. I'm still liking just a little bit of, my hinge gets fat when I'm nervous. I get nervous, my hinge gets fat. And today I started skinning my hinges down to where there was hardly anything holding. That is a, see, look at it, it's falling over the wrong direction. Now, that tree actually laid pretty good, that ash tree did. And I did, when we get to pulling this out, you will see I do get Brutus wallered up there to get to it. But the rest of these trees, it don't show it on the camera the way the vidge is. But this is a holy cow mountain. This is not swayed up and down, but it's pretty bad up and down. So, but the good thing is, the land lays straight up and down and the trees are junk. These trees, they're solid trees, but they're just pallet wood. So I'm like, you know what? There is no better time to kick off mothballs, to kick pudding out of the mothballs, and get back to the rhythm. Then I can get on a steep hillside and try it on junk. Problem is, it's 460 degrees outside. My chainsaw bar's binding up because it had not been properly took care of, which I got a video coming up taking care of that stuff. But I'm binding up, having issues, and I actually pull the crap out of fibers, trying to get myself back in the rhythm. There's dead locusts on the ground. There's black locusts all over the place, rotting down all over the ground, and widowmakers and stuff like that. And I remember, it's been so long since I've hand cut, I remember thinking, my God, this stuff's dangerous. Stuff's falling all around me. And I got to thinking, my Lord, you're out of practice. Which is funny because, I mean, I used to do a lot of cutting. And I'm going to get to doing a bunch more. There's times that I'm up on a hillside. I think I'd be a little faster just hand cutting it and walking them down. Now, this here is a, let me look up again. I don't think I cut any trees worth cutting. It looks like a damn tree. Yeah, it's the same. Look, the wood is. And this is going to be a hollow sycamore. Now, notice how fat my hinges are. That's a confidence thing. I'm a little bit low on confidence, being a little rusty, and that's why them hinges are so daggone fat. That wasn't too bad. Now this here is going to be a hackberry. I don't remember which one it was, but one of these hackberries, I just butchered the total crap out of them. I don't know which one it was. But I'm just dumping them down there in a hole down on the bottom. And I'm going to come along with Brutus and do the shoveling and straightening them out because it's kind of a steep little choppy valley down there. But we can get a skidder down it. And it don't have a defined ditch. Well, it does, but we got enough room to get the skid road beside the ditch. And look at that white wood and that hackberry, would you? But now I'm just dumping these son of a bucks down and getting into practice, trying to soft touch my way into it, but man. Like I said, this is embarrassing. I shouldn't even show this on here, but I thought, you know what? All the heckling, it's been coming for a long time because I've been out of kilter. Which now, while I'm editing this, I've been hand cutting for about 3 weeks. Quite a bit of hand cutting for about 3 weeks now, and I'm like, I'm not totally back into it yet. This 3 weeks from this video shooting, but I'm getting close. Today I got to predicting my fiber. You can tell when you're dealing with a real good timber cutter that knows his fiber's good, because he's tickling things. He's got to. He it's like a third sense. He don't even have to guess. The tree just doing the things he wants it to, and every pop in the tree, he knows what's going on, and he can tickle. You can tell when you're cutting fibers that are under a lot of tension too, and then when you're cutting fibers that are just kind of relaxed, you know. Look at that. I pulled it. Now I will admit I pulled the camera off of that because it looked so ridiculous. I thought, no, not even Logger Wade's going to share that. That was horrible. I thought I cut to the side of it And I didn't. My bar didn't poke out the backside, so I ripped the whole side out of that hackberry tree.
More of them than I thought. Yeah. They're down there.
How many down there?
High bunch. 8, 10. 8 or 10. Yeah.
Got 2 right up here.
Where? Up on top?
No, let's go down on the hill.
All right, getting back into this. Here's what's going on. My chainsaw, that's another hackberry that I'm getting ready to cut. My chainsaw is starting to bind up because of got my drags wrong on one side of the chain. The chains are pulling a little bit. Need to flip my bar. Don't have my bar flipped. I could make a country song out of this, but I've not got my hinges right yet because I've not got my confidence back yet. But it's getting smaller and better. And I'm starting to match my face cut up. You know, that's one telltale sign. I couldn't match my face cuts up very good either. You know, usually I just come and wham, boom, bang, and they pop right out, you know, and then I've been struggling on that. And I can't stand on this hillside. It's too daggone steep. So I keep falling off. So when I push on the saw or push in the tree, I just push myself over the hill. And the drags need knocked down. It's not biting. I'm pushing on it too hard. But hackberry's kind of a stringy wood anyway, so it kind of can cut violent sometimes. But anyways, I'll shut up and let y'all listen to the rest of it and kind of make your own assessment. And if y'all want to grill me in the comments, because there's good stuff coming, I promise you. I just wanted to show everybody Logger Wade eating a little crow, getting back into it, and doing a little struggling. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. I'll leave you alone.
don't fret. There's AC in there.
Okay, so we come back to the mill this evening, licking my wounds because I suck. So I thought to fill out this video, to make it a good video, I did come back to the mill and I'm unloading me and Stevie. Stevie's got a 2-bunk trailer and I got a 3-bunk. Thought I'd share a few tips on my unloading practices since I done the knuckle boom video the other day where I was loading a trailer. Now, I usually in R-type, you know, the only thing some of the stuff I'm going to talk about will transfer through about any platform you're unloading with. Now, we're unloading with a 544 loader with a clamp on it. I'm big on clamp loaders. I really like a clamp loader. They're pretty sweet. We're using Rockland forks because of the geometry and stuff, and we like them. I had to redo a bunch of stuff on a Rockland clamp because the clamps are a little odd on these older Rockland forks. I don't know if they fixed them nowadays or not, but on the old ones we had some issues with that. And then the forks wearing from your pin where your forks connect to your carrier frame, the pin where the fork slides up and down your fork slide. On a Rockland set of forks, they're pretty low, which puts the prying effect, the trajectory of the weight when the fork pulls down when you're lifting up on the load, it really wears hard on the loader frame back there. So I added a little bit of stuff to it. So basically what I'm trying to say is this set of Rockland forks is a heavily modified set of Rockland forks. It's not your one you pick up at the store there, down there at the Central Tractor. But anyways, we've used it for a long time. We've beat on it for a long time, and the fabrication, the Rockland forks straight off the factory is so close, it don't take much fabrication to make them to where they hold up for a long period of time, crack free. Now, this loader's a J loader. Yeah, it's probably old school from what a lot of you all are used to. Those of you that be watching for, you know, skeptically. But it does have quite a bit of power. This J loader has quite a bit of, and all the tires, all 4 tires are loaded, and it's got plenty of hydraulic power. I'm not sure what the pressures are this J loader's running, but it's pretty hefty. Now, when you're unloading logs, there's one of them big poplars I cut there. There's the butt log off that big poplar. Larry was riding on the logs. I don't know if I get this at the end of this picture or not, but it was cute. Larry done the hoe. I wish I got a picture of it on his truck. He did the hoe, don't worry, I hugged it first and stuff like that on the back of the truck. When you're unloading these, now most all bunks I'm unloading in 2 or 3 bites. I come in on the outside bite and I leave the bottom row on the trailer. Do not take your bottom row of logs off the trailer on your first bite. Leave that bottom row on, because what you're done, in a nutshell, when you're unloading logs, what you're trying to do is as you unload your logs, you want the logs to fall the least possible. You don't want a log stacked on the passenger side. Say you're unloading from the driver's side, there's a log on the passenger side. You don't want that log from the top to fall down to the bottom on the driver's side. See what I mean? When you drop from the top of one side of the trailer to the bottom of the other side of the trailer, your room for error is so, like that right there. You don't want that. You don't want that. You want your logs to move the least as possible. When you're unloading these logs, you want your logs to roll the least amount as possible. So keep that in the back of your mind. You know, there's like main things you keep in the back of your mind. When you're driving a semi, main thing in the back of your mind all the time is, how do I get this thing stopped? When you're unloading a load of logs with a loader, it's, how do I keep these logs from moving much till I get them off this trailer? Because if you're unloading and that's not in the back of your mind, you're going to be letting logs fall too much, and they're going to start getting twisted up, crossways. They're going to start falling in the frame. And the people that does that stuff, you know what I'm talking about, because you're picking them up out of the frame of the trailer, and you're picking them up off the ground, you're cutting airlines, and you're blowing tires off the rim, and you know, all that good mess. Now, Stevie, he parks like this on the hillside because his trail, we unload on a hillside. We're not on totally flat ground. So what Stevie's utilizing is the hillside to where the loader's leaning downhill some when it unloads his truck, so he gets nothing on his cab if anything goes wrong. Now me, that works good for Stevie and he gets along good with that. But for me, here's how I like to unload. I like to unload from the upper side. My truck's flat on the contour, but it's leaning towards the passenger side. And I like coming in with a loader and unloading from the uphill side, which sounds kind of wasteful, because you'd be thinking, well, you want to unload from the bottom side of the lean because then your loader can roll downhill after you get your bite full. But that ain't what you're wanting to do. You're wanting your logs, if you're using the mentality, keep the logs staying put. You don't want the logs to move any more than they have to. And you unload from the top side. Watch my logs from when I unload them off my truck compared to what they was with Stevie's truck. My logs stay put. I want them to stay put, because if the logs stay put, there's less surprises jump up and bite you in the butt. Now after I get the first bite off, which I try to reach over my clamp and get the top layer logs off, so I'm shortening that height, the logs down. Now watch how I come in with this next one. I'm tipped forward, and I'm gonna get the next height of logs off. Like that big poplar butt where the butt's leaning up towards the headache rack. Boom. I got him picked up. So guess what? The logs that's left, I bet they're not stacked up high enough for nothing. There's one that's gonna fall a little bit, and I carefully let him drop. You notice how I kept a fork against him so he didn't roll down real hard with a lot of momentum. You don't want these logs picking up momentum, especially if your sap's coming off. If these logs pick up momentum, they're like a banana out of the peel. Then if they start rolling hard, then they'll bang hard, and then they start sliding hard. And then what I'm doing when I come in for the third bite is just kind of doing cleanup. I'll take the outside log, I'll stack it up on the other logs. See how I picked that, what is it, cottonwood? I picked it up, stacked it up. No, it's black locust is what it was. So in that way, when I come in to get my last bite, I'm getting a full bite. You want to balance out your clamp loads if you can, but that takes time to get used to. But I like balancing them out to where I'm not getting a full clamp load and then the wheels coming off the ground in the back of the loader, and then turn around at the end and come in for 2 logs. I want to try to balance them out to where they're smooth, full, pretty full, forkfuls. Now this middle bunk's an odd duck, because usually on the middle bunk I always try to do it in 2 bites. We'll see what I do this time. I think I can do it in 2 bites, but it'd take 2 full bites with the rear end of the loader bobbing. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so good. So far, so good. Yeah, see now look how everything stayed on the trailer. Now when I come in next time, I've set myself up. When I come in next time, I'll grab a bite of that stuff, and it'll come right up out of there and be ready to go for the next bite. Organized bites is how you get these logs unloaded. Now you don't do it organized, I'm telling you. Those of you that don't know, you can make the biggest pile of pixie sticks ever was, and then it's tearing off airlines, chain boxes, mud flap hangers. That mud flap hanger on my back of my truck, look at that. That was from a log that fell through right after I put my mud flap brackets on. See there? So you want to keep things organized. Your top priority is to keep things organized, keeping logs moving the least as possible. Don't let them build up momentum when they're flopping around in your trailer, to where you can keep them in a packaged form, you know, so they're controlled. But I'll shut up for the rest of this and see if you can watch this last bunk and see how I'm coming into it. I guarantee I'm coming above that bottom log to keep a layer of wood down there while the stacks are high. But everybody have a good one, and leave me likes and comments and hit the bell and subscribe if you ain't subscribed and you like my footage here. I promise you I'm going to keep trying hard. I'm going to keep trying to get you all good footage and everything. And the comments back and forth I've been getting has been teaching me things and helping me get to do a better job of making these videos. So I appreciate it. Thank you guys. Later on. Hey everybody, thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the buttons and leave me likes, comments, stuff. Let me know what's up. And to anybody's wanting logger weight gear, go to loggerweight.com and help yourself at the shop there. And we got all that good mess. Take care of it. And mostly just want to say thanks everybody. Hope everybody has a good one later on.